Hello and welcome to Gamers Confessional episode 249. It's me, Vimesy. With me tonight, Clarky.
Tonight?
I'm used to it. Okay, go with it. This daytime recording is like a new thing. I'm not sure I'm there with it yet.
Hi, everybody.
And then down there, if you're watching on YouTube, down there we've got Pat.
Hey.
He seems to like being underneath us. I don't know why. He always insists on it. There we go. Welcome to the show. It's been a hell of a week. We're doing daytime recording, which is, like I say, unusual. So this could go one of two ways, better or worse.
Check this woman out.
Okay, yeah, that's brilliant, Clarky.
Hello, baby. Sorry, guys, go on.
Yeah, I think it's going to go worse. At least at night, he couldn't look out the window.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
The builders on site.
All right, gorgeous.
What? That's like a Mary Poppins builder, the voice you just did.
Well, it's from London, isn't it? That's how they all speak down there. We've all seen the Watchdog Legion trailer.
Yeah,
exactly
man.
how you
How
all
speak down there.
Oh, did anyone get that, by the way?
No.
No.
Did you not get it to see if you could find your house?
Or is it like The Getaway, is it like actually London? Or I thought it was like fake London.
Well, it's fake London. It's not like a one-to-one representative of London.
Yeah. Nah, there's no point.
But it still looks the same, authoritarian, full of graffiti, rubbish everywhere. Infested with Boris Johnson, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. No, I don't know many people who did buy it. I mean, obviously people have bought it, but it's never been my sort of series, Watch Dogs. I've never liked that kind of Ubisoft like games like that where you're kind of doing. I mean, they're all the same, aren't they? Ubisoft games, really. But like Assassin's Creed, I can kind of get into that because of the combat. But it doesn't appeal to me in Watch Dogs. Don't know why. It just doesn't. And I don't like this one. Doesn't have a protagonist, so you kind of go and recruit people, but depending on there's no real sort of like storyline.
Yeah,
there is a storyline.
I remember the E3 trailer with the granny.
The old growing, oh, lover, because that's how they all speak in it. All right, my chubba. Sorry, that's a different thing. I don't know what about. No, he says no. It's all right. Okay, let's talk about stuff. Clarky's very excited, aren't you, Clarky?
Oh, yeah.
Look excited. Ooh, we're on video now. You've got to actually look excited as well as just fake it. All right. Because he's getting a new console next week. By the time you listen to this, he'll be literally one day away.
Hold on. Is Clarky getting the... So this is episode 249.
Yeah.
Which you didn't say at the beginning because I interrupted you. But is Clarky getting his console?
I thought I did say it.
Did you?
Well, I'm not.
But is Clarky getting his console
then
then on our special episode 250?
Well, he'll have had it by 250, yeah.
So then is he talking about it at 250 or is he talking about it at 251?
We're saying he's going to have it. I mean, that depends on whether whoever's delivering it to him
Amazon won't let me down.
His fence
Amazon won't let him down, mate.
If they were going to cancel it, they'd have cancelled it by now. It's showing delivery Tuesday.
Did you see Amazon trolling me earlier?
No.
Trolling me. They put Bloomin' Series S up for fucking sale, but not the X. So I got an email saying, "Oh, this is available." I charged to the website, and it was like, "It's the S version, isn't it? Not the X." So I was a bit annoyed.
Yeah, I mean that's been available quite a lot. Every time I've sort of logged on Amazon, I've seen it as well.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't have Clarky having a better console than me. It just wouldn't be right. I'd feel inferior. I get enough of that at home. I don't need that in this as well. All right, so you're gonna have a new. How are you feeling, Clarky? Have you cleared out space yet? You said you were going to do some room renovations to fit it in. Is that right?
I was actually planning on doing it this afternoon. Then Pep texted and completely reminded me that we were recording today. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Oh, never mind.
No, I just need to take the shelf out of the TV unit and then it'll fit in.
Are you sure? Have you got the
Are
measurements?
you standing upwards, Clarky?
Yeah, of course I'm standing it upwards. You need 4 centimeters of clearance at the top.
Are you going to cut a hole out the top of the bench so that the vent can go straight up through?
No. Apparently, it only needs 4 centimeters of clearance on top. That's the official word from Microsoft.
Man, 4 centimeters is like the space you need if you want to cook a hot dog above it.
It's the barbecue.
Hey, the reviews have taken temperatures. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Saw
That's my
that.
fault. It's
I saw
absolutely insane.
IGN's review with one of those infrared thermometers.
Oh my
We've
God.
we've got
you
one
see
at
it?
work.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't bothered to.
You know, like the ones when someone comes around to see like how much savings you could make if you go to like double glazing windows, and they point like the camera at your house.
It's like, oh my God, look how much heat's escaping.
Yeah, it's
I
like
know it
that's
from,
really red and orange right there. Let's get some glazing on that. It's like that.
I don't know from like thermal sights on Rainbow Six and stuff. That's about the limit of it. So you must be very excited, Clarky. What's the first game you're going to play on your new Xbox?
Destiny 2's out of that day, isn't it? Come on. You know that'll draw me back.
Do it, mate. I'm refusing to. I'm still like, I bought the last expansion, and I'm still playing the expansion prior to that, and I've never actually got to the expansion. I just whatever one that was. I can't
Then
do
that's
it again.
your loss.
Possibly so. But
Does that like kind of depress you a little bit? Because it kind of depresses me hearing that. Like that we'll be playing Destiny 2 on launch, then we'll be playing.
He won't just be playing that because I'm going to coax him back onto Sea of Thieves with me.
Oh yeah, I think most of the launch day will be sent downloading stuff because obviously with the console I've chosen, I've got the facility to plug in an external hard drive, and I can keep some games on there.
Well, on the PS5, you can take over your Seagate with all my PS4 games on my Seagate. I can just plug that in and have my PS4 games on there as well.
No, you can't.
You can. That's what the PS4 IGN review said.
It said you can't plug anything into it yet.
You can't if it's for PS5 games. For PS4
What?
games. Yeah. So the old memory stuff is only good for your old games. So if you want to buy the new,
I'm sure I read something saying you couldn't plug external hard drives into it on day one.
You can't for PS5 games.
Oh, right.
So throw it in the bin. So you need to buy the new expensive £200 for half a terabyte.
Well, no. What you can do is just keep your 2 terabyte one or whatever, and then rather than keeping downloading games, you can just transfer them over from the hard drive, which will be much quicker.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's all a bit messy. I don't
It is
remember.
messy.
I don't
feel like
remember
we're
a
not going to know
console
the truth.
launch being like
I
this
feel like
before.
Even what I just said now, which I saw in the IGN review, I kind of feel like it might also not be the truth. Like even Aaron yesterday was asking me questions, which I was like, I don't actually know, Aaron, how it's going to work. So, for example,
go on.
Can I ask you the question that he asked me?
Go on.
So you got a fly?
Yeah, I've got a fly going on, man. What's going on?
So he asked, on day one of the PS4, we won't have the new FIFA, because the new FIFA's out December 13th.
PS5, but yes.
On the PS5, sorry, I'm confusing matters even more. We won't have PS5 FIFA. We'll have PS4 FIFA that we can play.
That's right.
When PS5 FIFA comes out,
yep.
Will it literally be like, all right, here the icon is for your PS4 FIFA, and here it is for your PS5 FIFA? Question one.
No, it'll down. I don't know how that works. I think the only thing it'll do is it'll probably download another 20 gigabytes worth of high definition textures and stuff for it.
So is it the same game, or is I said to him, no, it's a new PS5 game?
I think the goals have been rebuilt from the ground up.
Well, like when you log on, I said to him, for example, you have to like our pro clubs players now won't be there. Like you'll have to. It'll go.
Mate,
like,
and this is the problem. I got no idea.
That's what I'm saying. And then the second question is, it's like he said, like, well, on my PlayStation 5, will I be able to play online on PS4 games with people that have only a PS4? So will I be able to play with Bradley? He's not getting a PS5 day one. Will I be able to play
Bradley? Come on.
Will I be able to play FIFA 21? The PS4 edition on my PS5 with Bradley on his PS4. Like, will servers work?
Well, crossplay. You're basically about crossplay between the generations, aren't you? PS4 versus PS5. So I know you can on Xbox. So if you've got a Series X and you've got an Xbox One or whatever, then that works.
Yeah, because I mean they've said about like.
I don't know about PlayStation. I honestly don't. That's what's worrying me. I'm not.
That's
too
what I'm worried. Like
about.
Rockstar came out today and said the same thing. Like, all our games are backwards compatible. Blah blah blah. But does that mean online as well? So like, can I actually go onto PS4 servers?
I believe. I mean, you must. I don't know. I mean, I say you must be able to, but I can't remember how it worked with Battlefield, whatever it was, 3 or 4 when we changed
on Battlefield 4, it was done like there was no connection with PS3 players when you got Battlefield.
That's right.
They couldn't do the 64 player fucking
Yeah, but that was like, for me, that was like a new game. Like, we just got the download for it for free.
I don't know, and it's weird because it's like, it seems to me, I haven't read anything about this, but it seems to me like you would expect Sony to make it a kind of thing of, this is what we expect from, if you bring out a game now, it should be compatible across or not. But we're so left up to individual publishers, which I'm sure is, that's okay. But
I'm kind of
confused. You're making me confused, Pat.
I'm kind of tempted to pick up Red Dead 2 again.
Why? It's not good. Actually, I played it on PC, so I was going to say it won't look much better. But actually,
you have to play it from the beginning, Clarky.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that first chapter.
I love that game. I adored it, but I don't know I could do it again. And I certainly couldn't do it without the mods, because fast travel.
What else am I going to play? Gears 5.
Yeah, we can get on Gears 5. We'll get on Gears 5.
Oh, please, not after last time.
Mate, you click on Game Pass, there's a load of games on there you can play. Loads. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, let's give the one.
So when he clicks on Game Pass, so Gears 5, when he clicks on Game Pass, is he gonna be playing the Gears 5?
Yes.
New Xbox Series X.
So when it loads up, it tells you these are the optimized games. So it splits it. When you look at your games library, it will say this game's been optimized for Series X.
So when he goes online, can he play with the previous Xbox users?
Yeah.
So everyone's in the same server?
I'm almost sure about that.
Right, so just PS5 we don't know about.
I don't know. I think it's one. You're talking about Xbox first-party games, so I imagine they're going to be cross-play. It's almost seamless, but I don't know if it was like a third-party game that come out. Let's say there was a, I don't know, Control had a multiplayer aspect. I don't know if it does or not. Don't think it does. Would they be able to play, Xbox One versus Xbox One X? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Well, isn't it a simple question to ask? Like, Bradley isn't getting his PS5 on day one.
Well, it's a simple question to ask. It's just really quite difficult to answer.
Yeah, like Destiny.
You might not be yet.
Yeah, I might not be yet. We'll see what happens there. But can I still play with him online?
I imagine so. I honestly don't know the answer, mate. I don't know the answer because it's only really this switchover that we've expected backwards compatibility. Because when we bought the PS4, we expected it to be able to kind of play PS3 games at some point, but it wasn't like an expectation. It wasn't
we didn't even have party chat, mate, if you remember, on PS3.
So yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like...
We didn't even talk to each other.
So this is the first gen where it's like we've kind of expected to be able to do this. We've never had it before. So I'm not quite sure where the expectations come from, but it's there. So
like I assume because with the PSVR, I can jump into any party chat.
That didn't take him long to squeeze that in, did it?
Well, I'm just saying I can jump into like a PS3 party chat. I can jump into a PS4. I can use the mic. I can talk to guys with the new app. I don't know if you guys have been on the app. You can jump into a party chat on the app from your phone. So
just for any younger listeners, the PS Vita is a ill-fated handheld console released by Sony several years ago.
It looks like this.
There we go.
It was a lovely console.
Very good.
It was lovely.
Times you had yours for what? A week?
3 or 4 weeks, yeah. Enough for me to play Uncharted Golden Abyss and Mercenaries.
Were you cleaning like the shovel, like the mud away to the shovel?
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It's a lovely console. I just didn't. I wasn't playing handhelds at that point. I just can't get on with handhelds. Switch is the first handheld where I've actually spent any proper game time on it, and that's because they're not. Don't know why. Don't know why I'm spending so much time. I'm probably playing my Switch far more in the last month than I have proper consoles, as it were. Proper consoles, Clarky.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this, but maybe I'll talk about it after.
A little bit later. I was going to talk about it kind of in keeping with the whole question about what's happening with the gens and the switchover. PSVR is really messy. Really messy. So this is my understanding. You can play, your PSVR is compatible with the PS5 once you've got your dongle that you've got to send off for, and they will see whether you're worthy of having that sent to you.
Well, the dongle's for the camera.
Dongle is for the camera. But this is the interesting bit, right? So the PS4 camera that we've all got is compatible with PSVR. Yeah? Easy.
PS4 camera. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So we need the dongle for that to work. The new PlayStation HD camera isn't compatible with PlayStation VR. Right? So if you were to go out and buy your PSVR headset bundle, right, that doesn't come with a camera, take it home and then go, oh, I've just bought the PlayStation HD camera, or both, it ain't going to work. It's literally the PlayStation HD camera is purely for like streaming and stuff. It's just a webcam.
Like, why?
Because PSVR.
How much would it be?
PSVR because they're going to drop PSVR.
The PSVR camera have two.
It does. It has two lenses on it.
Two lenses, right? So the PSVR hasn't. It's just a webcam.
Well, like, why not? Like the new iPhone's got 4 lenses on it. Can't they just put another lens, which is that's for your PSVR?
Well, that's not what they've done. The other thing you need to do is if you want to plug your stuff. So if you want to plug the headset in and I think you do a headset and possibly as the processing box isn't. I think it's just a headset, but you need to have like a USB 3.1 port, and they've only got 2 of those on the console. So if you've got an external SSD, like everyone's planning to get because space, that's going to need a 3. So you've only got you're just going to run out of ports real quick. So you're going to have to get yourself like some kind of hub, like a USB.
Did all the Japanese
hub.
designers go to America, and all the Americans ones went to Japan? Because I feel like usually the Japanese do all these slick consoles, like really nice, small, compact little.
Oh no. PlayStation's always. I mean, some of the design decisions they made when they first bring their. I mean, wasn't it on the original 60 gig one? They had like 2 USB ports or something, didn't they? They had one at the front, one at the back, or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I remember. But I just feel like the Xbox is doing design wise, like the Americans are doing everything nice design wise.
No, the 360 was a nice looking console.
Yeah, but I mean, especially this year, they've gone for this slick look. They've gone for the adaptable look.
They've always done that. I mean, the Xbox One is basically a rectangular box as opposed to the Xbox Series X square box. So, it's just a box now. That's Xbox. But yeah, I know what you mean. But the other thing about it is obviously that
it's just very crude design. And
so if you want some games, obviously, when you're playing PSVR stuff, you use the DualShock light bar, and the DualSense doesn't have a light bar. So you're going to have to hang on to a DualShock controller to play some of the games.
This doesn't bode well, does it?
Or the Move controllers from PS3.
No, that's fine, because obviously the Move controllers and the light gun, the PSVR aim or whatever it's called, that obviously they have their baubles on the front. That'll work with the camera. That's fine.
Yeah, but do I really have to hold on to something from
You do. I mean, it's because they don't have a light bar in the new DualSense. So if you want, I can't remember which games actually use it. But I'm sure, so things like Astrobot and stuff like that obviously use it. So you'd have to use.
But my sources tell me.
Your sources?
Yeah, that there's there is a PSVR coming to PS5. So how is that going to work?
Well, you can tell Bradley from me.
I can't give away who my sources are.
There are rumours of one possibly being released in 2022, but they're not. They're keeping very stum about it.
But how is that going to work? Or is that not going to work for camera? Is that going to be...
I don't know, because what they'll do is they'll bring out a whole new thing. I imagine what they're trying to do is if they want to keep doing it, because they've got PSVR games slated.
That's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? So for anyone who's just jumping on board with PS5, hearing about VR and stuff on the previous console, they're not going to see it for 2 years.
Well, no, because they can buy the PSVR headset that we've got now, try and dig out a PlayStation HD camera.
Oh, yeah, that controller you've got, that won't work on it, so you'll have to buy an old PS4
and that's the thing.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But hold on, Clarky. To be fair, if they've already got the PSVR, they will have the old controller as well.
But if I want to, let's say, for example, I want to sell my PS4 Pro because now I've got the PS4 5, right? I've got to give them a controller with that, right?
Do you?
Really, yeah.
What? I'm not going to sell a PS4 Pro without the controller, really, am I?
If
you sell a console on whatever, normally you have to be nice and give them something to play it on, right?
Well, if that's the case, why don't Sony, when they sell us a controller, sell us the little charging cable with it as well?
Well, if that's the case, why don't Sony, when they sell us a controller, just give us a fucking light bar on the front now if it's integral to part of their fucking VR system?
Or the camera. Yeah, or the adapter in the box.
It's just absolutely mental. And it just doesn't make any... So they've just not thought about it at all. So when they designed the PS5, they didn't give a rat's ass about the PSVR in any way. They didn't think about anything.
That sounds really
the fact that they've had to they've modelled a brand new HD camera.
Why does it sound unusual?
Well, it doesn't, does it?
I'll tell you why it sounds unusual. Because
Mr. Vita lover.
Mr. Vita love. Well, I'll tell you, that's a good example. I know, I can see, from what I read, from what I see, from what I feel, there's absolutely no sense of support for the PS Vita.
Right.
There's none.
No.
Sony have killed it.
Yep.
But with the PSVR, they still push that shit. They push that equipment.
I think we're beyond shit, Pet. I think we're beyond that now. I think we've had a few swears in this episode.
But like, so from one hand, they're pushing the games. Like, we literally just had a really good Star Wars game come out. They like.
I remember playing that once. Yeah.
They came out and said, they came out and said, "Oh, No Man's Sky. If you want to play PSVR, you got to have the PS4 version of No Man's Sky and the PS5." Like, there's information.
What?
No Man's Sky's coming to PS5.
Right, and I've got to have the PS4 version. What?
Yeah, if you want to play,
isn't in VR.
Yeah, if you want to play any game that has any VR functionality in it, the PS5 version of it won't. So if you want to use your PSVR, you'll have to use the PS4 version.
There's no PS5.
So hang on. So when I go to if I'm on PS5 and I go to the store, are there going to be two versions of No Man's Sky for me to download?
That I don't know.
So I don't understand how. Do I have to tick a thing that says, "Please don't upgrade this to the PS5 version"?
Don't know. So if you went into a shop and on the shelf there was No Man's Sky for the PS4 and No Man's Sky for the PS5, if you want to play it in VR, you have to buy the PS4 version.
Which makes sense in a way. I'll tell you why. No,
Please
it doesn't make sense.
Please do.
I'll tell you why. Because all the PSVR games have Resident Evil. It says PlayStation 4 at the top, compatible with PSVR. The PlayStation 5, it's not games aren't compatible at the moment with PSVR. So you have to buy the game that's PSVR compatible.
But why aren't they, Pet?
Well, that's the question. This is what I'm saying. I think
because it's just software,
I think they want us to buy a new PSVR.
No, mate. Because so long as you've got, this is what I don't understand. So long as you've got the right hardware, a headset, some kind of controller mechanism, it's just software. Well,
here it is though. Yeah, like the PS5. Let's say it's running lots of really impressive stuff. Yeah.
No, it's PSVR. It's not impressive shite. It's low res.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Rate
if it's PSVR, it's not going to be able to run the new No Man's Sky and have the world pop up miles and miles and miles away in your PSVR headset. Once you play the PS4 version, which is lower text, lower textures, lower this, lower that.
But that's just ridiculous.
It is. Xbox. I mean, I don't buy two different. Which version?
No, hang on. I don't buy two different versions depending on whether I've got a PS4 and a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with PSVR. I honestly feel like the PSVR isn't meant for the PSVR for me. Isn't meant for the PS5. It's not. The camera's not even compatible.
No, I know, but that's
someone last minute had an idea and said, "Oh."
Did they? Did they have that, Pet?
God, it says
the PS5.
There he is. Look. Huh? Sorry, you froze a little second there, just as you're about to really kick into the rant.
So when Resident Evil 8 was announced, and all PlayStation players were going, "Yeah, well, we'll get it in VR." No, sorry, lads, you won't.
Well, here's the thing. They might, but Sony will come out and go, "You play in VR? Here's a shiny new PS5 VR, mate."
I don't mind that. If they brought out, this is the thing, right? If they brought out a new headset, let's say they said, "Okay, look, guys." But I mean, when? I mean, they're saying 2022 as a that's a guess, right? Let's say they said, "Okay, here's the new PlayStation VR 3 or whatever they want to call it, and it's a wireless headset with your new HD camera that works, and you don't need the light bulb, whatever, right?" And it had a higher resolution. I'd be like, "Yep, take my money."
Yeah.
Take my money, because I love my PS. I don't play it often, but when I play it, there's nothing like it. I love it. So I would quite happily give them some more money for that.
Yeah, so would I.
It's just like, this is just, I'm so confused at the moment with what I can play. Can I play it? Do I have to hold on to my PS4? Because, I mean, it's half the reason why I held on to, I wanted to get the PS5, disc version, was because most of my PSVR library is on disc. Right, and I don't want to have to go and rebuy it, and it just makes sense and whatever, right? But it's just like, now you're telling me I can't play the stuff I've already got on that?
And do you know what I just naively thought as well? You know how the PSVR at the moment plugs into another little black box, and that plugs into your console.
Yeah, the processor box,
The processor box. So I just imagined, when I saw the PS5, no one told me this, I just thought of it in my mind. I just thought, oh, the PSVR probably directly plugs into the PlayStation 5. Like, I thought that little box that processor was because the PlayStation 4 wasn't strong enough, and we needed it. But I thought, PSVR is so big, we can plug straight into it. We can't. We're still plugging into that little black box you're telling me to play PSVR. It's like box into box into box into a huge cupboard box. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just unfathomable. I don't understand it.
But my point is, weirdly enough, it's still obvious for people that are like involved with PSVR and stuff, that play the games, that sort of read the news. It's pretty obvious that Sony still have this thing. I don't know why. They still have it in their mind so strongly. I say I don't know why, because the PSVR, they dropped straight away. But with the PSVR, it still seems like they've got an intention for games to still come out on it, and they want to support it. So it's like, well, okay, if you want us to play it, then one, make it easy, and one, tell us how we're going to play it on our new consoles. Because if you're expecting us to keep on playing it on PS4, then you're going to lose loads of people because we're all moving across. I don't know.
But this is the thing, I don't know. At least when it was like PS3 going to PS4, it was like, you know, I know we were complaining at the time because basically if out of the three of us, if we're all playing Battlefield and then, you know, Clarky doesn't upgrade to a PS4, then he's out because we can't play with him. At least we knew. At least there was a cut-off. At least it was
it seems like every time a new generation comes along, one of them fucks up. Last time Xbox fucked up with that whole Kinect palaver. Now it's Sony's turn to fuck up.
Forgot about
that. Stuff.
It does feel that way.
I just don't get it. I just don't understand how they make it. It's so obvious that PSVR is so secondary to their thinking. They didn't even think about it when they designed the bloody console.
They've got to remember they've got to keep people happy as well, because due to production runs and everything, you know, there's not going to be millions of people with one of these day ones, so they need to be getting as much positive press as they can get from the console.
I think that again they've moved into old Sony of being so cocky and arrogant about it. They're just like, whatever. People will buy it because they've got, you know, they've had the PS4 and they'll just buy it.
The thing I'm most looking forward to is the speed.
That's true for the console, but I don't know if that's true for PSVR. Like, when PS5 comes out...
Yeah, but they don't care if people buy PSVR because they're not... Is it still in production? Are they still making them?
I don't know. I assume so. I haven't heard them stopping making them.
So I haven't heard that they've stopped making them. Something like, you know, we had that when they stopped making the DS and when they stopped making the Vita and stuff. So I presume they're still making them in really low numbers, maybe, but... if they're still making them, surely they should be thinking about supporting them. Somebody in that boardroom must have gone, "Hey guys, don't forget we've got this bit of kit." I don't know.
It's just one of them examples where you absolutely hit yourself over the logic of it and why they haven't thought of it, but they haven't. I mean, everyone's been locked in the houses for the past God knows how many months. Would that have been would that have been a perfect time to push VR? Yeah, it would have been.
Want to go for a walk? Stick this on your head.
Exactly. So why didn't they push it?
I don't know.
It's just these ridiculous marketing decisions companies make. It's like we could run in there and tell them how to run the fucking company. It's like,
you know what it reminds me of? You watched like the IT crowd. It's like that's the PSVR department at Sony. They're in the basement, shuffled away somewhere. The kind of the PSVR geeks will keep them down there while the rest of the world trundles away upstairs.
The decisions they make sometimes. This is everyone. They just defy logic.
Some key people since the PS4 launch, it did so well. Some key high people have moved on to different departments in PlayStation and moved out completely. Like, I'm just thinking of like Shuhei being the main one. Like, I don't know how much he was the face of PlayStation or how much he actually made decisions.
But I don't know, but
I don't know. But for instance, I distinctly remember him like at the PS4 reveal at E3 and how like he just owned it, and like all the things that were coming out of Sony were just amazing. Like, and even the little digs with like, oh, here's how you play new games and you know, all that little stuff. And it kind of felt, and I don't know if it was a PR thing, but it kind of felt like Shuhei was, you know, he was generally the CEO and like leading all the decisions. And now it's like that he's not there and other people aren't there. It's like, what? Yeah, like the direction.
Well, someone's taken, but it's like they would have had conversations with like all their third-party hardware suppliers. So they'd have had conversations with people like, I don't know, Thrustmaster, who make their sort of joysticks and steering wheel stuff like that. They'd have Fanatec. They'd have done it with like probably Hori and stuff like that. I don't know, but they would have had conversations about what they need to be compatible, and yet they didn't think to include their own fucking VR department.
You've just got to understand, Pet. Not every gaming company has its own Doug Bowser.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway,
and also one thing I want to say is like, well, it's just the last thing is because I kind of feel like PSVR a little bit was a test, and it was like, all right, let's put it out there. It didn't launch near the PS4. It came a lot of years later, and this is what I felt at the time. I felt like, okay, when people would ask me, oh, what is like VR like? You know, my friends would come around. Alex, Ben would ask me, what's the VR like? And I would always say the same thing. I would say, it's a brilliant first attempt, is how I would put it. And I really love it, but there's a lot of things which I could see improved. And I always felt like next generation, iteration 2 of the PSVR will be like perfect. I felt like, you know, in my head was be like, make it wireless. That was one of my things I wanted. Make it wireless, make it easy to turn on the same way you turn a controller. None of that extra box, all in the big new PlayStation, and it will work great.
But that's what they did. But that's what they did.
Now I'm sitting here like in rally going, I don't know if like, what the hell is going on? Like, there isn't an iteration 2, and if there is, it sounds like it's going to be just as complicated as. I kind of feel like that was a test, and now you can do the real bad boy.
That's pretty much like, well, because you know I early adopted with like Oculus Rift and stuff.
Yeah.
And now if you look at
the Wii U and the Switch, like,
but if you look at like the Quest, if you look at like the Quest 2 now, it's an awesome piece of kit. You know, and I don't regret buying the Oculus Rift, but at the same time, the only reason I've not bought a Rift is because Facebook, and I've got PSVR, so I get my hit from PSVR, even though I know that's lower res and it's not the same or whatever, but I can't justify spending another 600 quid just to get another PSVR headset, or VR headset. So you'd expect them to iterate on it. I really thought, I kind of, obviously not since we've heard about it, but when they were talking about PSVR, I really thought they would do like PSVR 2 or proper PSVR 2 and have it as a wireless headset that blends with the console, that works seamlessly, that higher res, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just disappointed, man, because it annoys me that Xbox have just dropped it anyway. And, you know, Xbox have just said, no, we don't want to do it. And fine, but I just wish they had, because I think if Microsoft had done it, they would support it, and it would be fully integrated. And it was like Kinect; they supported that for so long past its sell by. The lenses? Oh right,
how good they looked at one of those E3s? Was it 2000?
I don't know. I just remember that Minecraft demo blowing my mind.
What stops Xbox from just saying like, oh, you've got VR and you can use the blah blah such and such a headset to it? Would there be any like reason why that couldn't happen? Oh, you can use your Vive on the Xbox.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, like for example, I can use my PSVR headset on my PC. There's a bit of software to download to do it, and it's not, you know, it's like a third party piece of kit, so it's
sweet. We still don't know why they had that video call with Gabe Newell, do we?
Oh, we don't. Well, Half-Life, Half-Life. They did that. That would be fucking outstanding. Here's Microsoft's PSVR. You know, here's Microsoft's VR headset, comes packaged with Half-Life Alyx or something.
Oh, take it all. Take everything you want.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So suck it up. Anyway, so that's our next gen watch. And apparently there are some new Xbox consoles being released on Tuesday that I'll be in the queue for, but Clarky says I'm mad. I'm not going to get one. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you might get one. You just won't get it until December.
I can wait. So, games. I finished Final Fantasy 9. Rolled credits. It wasn't that great.
Was it not? You didn't like it? How many hours did it take, Wimsey?
Clarky probably be able to tell you better than me because he stalks me on that there Nintendo. I'm thinking probably about 25.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
About 25 hours.
Not long for a JRPG, but
not long for a JRPG, and I'm as we talked about last time, I'm quite pleased about the fact that it wasn't that long. Yeah. I hated the battle system. Did not like the battle system at all. Really didn't like it. you kept getting into loops on the turn basis because you're waiting for your ATB bar to sort of fill up before you can make a move. So some of the turns would go out of sync and stuff. But you'd end up getting into one of those. The number of times where I got into a problem where like one of my party would get knocked out, and you can't time giving them like a Phoenix down and then getting them a health potion before the enemy's taken their turn so you res them with like one hit point, and then the enemy just kills them, and you just end up getting into this loop of using your potion, and you can't res them. And it's just like, so if somebody gets knocked out, you just have to fucking leave them because there's no point.
Yeah, because you're just going to end up just wasting all your items.
Yeah, you do. And it's like, you can't. So you just end up waiting and then using the Phoenix down when you're out of the fight. Yeah, so they're just out. And I found that really infuriating. So I didn't like the battle system at all. I didn't like the fact that I never quite knew who was going to go next when. So I like in things like Dragon Quest and stuff like that, and where I can order my party, and I know that, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to set this person up to do this spell, which will make them vulnerable to this attack, which will give me the ability to combo it with that. And in this, it didn't work like that because I couldn't be sure that it wasn't going to get interrupted from the enemy, or it wasn't going to get like out of sync somehow. So I really didn't like the battle system at all. Storyline. It was like, I haven't got a fucking clue what the second half was about. Something about planets turning into genomes and trying to hold souls and all this, and I was just like, what? Nah, man, it's bullshit. It really was. I quite like this. Pay attention, my ass. That's the game's fault, not mine. I quite like the first bit was nice and easy to follow. Princess on the run, mum's gone mad, that kind of thing. That was great. And then it went into this thing where you're suddenly, fucking let's go to another world. Why? Why do we have to go to another world? Why? And
it had to get that future bit in.
It did, didn't it? And it was just like, oh Jesus, here we go again. And it was just. Nah. Some of the characters I just did not bond with, couldn't give two shits about, so I just left them out of everything. So that Amaranth, whatever his name was, he can do one. I didn't.
I never usually used him.
Bothered him. The cook person, she was only level 15, I think, when I finished, because I just never used it because I was meh. And the other characters, I don't understand really the kind of, because obviously like. I'm not saying it's, Final Fantasy VIII is lauded, but quite a lot of, everyone has their favorite Final Fantasy, and, Clarky likes 8 or 6 or whatever it is, and other people like 7, and other people like 10 and whatever. So when I go to like EGX or gaming conventions or whatever, you see like, oh, his VV immortalized. I'm like, VV was okay, but there was no character in that I thought was standout, that I thought, you are an exceptional character. Okay.
What's VV? Sorry,
VV's the little wizard.
VV?
With the yellow eyes.
You probably renamed him to be something like Steve or something.
Steve.
There was no character in that I thought was different enough to make me kind of go, you're a unique character that should be made into a little figurine. When
Did you go back and save Blank?
Yeah. Well, he gets saved in the storyline, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah.
I thought it was an extra thing you did if you wanted to.
No, because you get the soft or whatever it is.
Super
soft from whatever it is, and they go back and they sort of save back. It's part of the storyline, yeah. It's part of the main
it's been
thing.
A long time.
Yeah. So I don't know. The battle system I hated. The story was okay, and the characters were unmemorable. I'm going to get slated for that.
Do you think you really loved Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I did.
Do you think you would like it if you played the old one with the old battle system?
I don't know what the old battle system was. I think the thing about Final Fantasy VII Remake was because it was, I would find it easier to relate to the characters purely because they were more cinematic. So it was like they weren't just little sprites. Maybe I don't know.
This was part of the reason I liked 8 better than 9, because 9 kind of disappointed me a little bit. I mean, 8 had a much better story, and at the end of the game as well.
I'm playing 9 then. I ain't playing 8 then.
At the end of the game, you got the end sequence to it. It was absolutely fucking enormous. It goes on for about half an hour.
Oh, they don't half overshoot these things. But I don't know. I wasn't. I don't see Final Fantasy VII Remake as being almost it's not
not the same game.
Yeah, they're not. Then it's not. I mean, I know it's turn-based, and I know it's but they've got so many quality of life enhancements in there, and because they've come along graphically, and you see the characters in kind of better fidelity, and you kind of become more attached to them just because they look better and act better, and the voice acting is better, and all this kind of stuff. I think maybe that makes me feel a bit more in tune with them, and makes me feel a little bit more like I care about them. These, man, I mean, no. I mean, it was a, you know, the ending was a little bit, oh, that's sweet, you know, but still partly couldn't give a shit. I still don't understand what that beautiful Beatrix ever thought saw in Steiner. I mean, I just don't understand it. That's completely unrealistic. So they could do one.
She'd probably end up running him through after listening to his foot fall for a few weeks.
I know, I bloody. Oh God! But it's just so, you know. I wasn't impressed. I am tempted to pick up 8 just because Clark keeps banging on about it, and 10.
Please do.
I guess.
No, don't.
I guess
fuck 10. Get 8.
Yeah, I listened to you.
If you're going to get 10, mate, you might as well get the remaster, because that is the same game.
Well, I did consider just going back and playing 15 because I might relate to it better because it's a more modern game with the creature comforts that brings to it and stuff, and characters that I can relate to. But I don't know. I guess my experience from you know, not having played a Final Fantasy game ever to having played Final Fantasy VII Remake this year and then Final Fantasy 9 now is it doesn't put me off them. I'm far more liable to give them a go than I was last year. But I honestly can't see why that's heralded as a great game, in all honesty.
Yeah. I mean, you were looking
mediocre
at me like
was the word I was looking for. Huh?
Fuck you, Ramsey.
I remember when we went to, I can't remember which EGX it was, and I was playing Final Fantasy World of Fantasy, and I was putting all the little like chickens on my head and stuff, and having
oh yeah, the stacking system.
And Mike was just looking at me like, "What the hell is he doing?"
And you thought that was the one game you wanted to play. It's just like, it was great because he got there and he was so he sort of rather think, oh my God, there's going to be a queue, there's going to be, and there was no one playing.
There's no one.
So he walked on it and he finished the demo and he looked around and the guy went, you might as well keep playing because no one else wanted to touch it.
God, that was so funny.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I might give 10 a go because I hear good things about 10 apart from Clarky. But also, there's loads of other stuff out at the moment. I might give JRPGs a miss for a bit, just to. I don't know. A Switch is a beautiful place to play them, though. That's the problem. It's you know, it's just so easy. Just before bed, knock an hour out and just, you know, progress it a little bit, and then, you know.
I mean, you could just like cuddle your wife and make her feel special for the hour before you fall asleep. But play your Final Fantasy game. Yeah, whatever.
Knock her out for an hour.
You've obviously not met my wife. It's all right. You're on speaker.
What the hell? I just got a note from Amazon going, we thought you're like we thought you're like new Xbox PlayStation 3 console games or accessories. PlayStation 3 ones, you thought I'd like.
Oh, so they're supporting that now, are they? They're supporting PlayStation 3.
The new PlayStation 3 accessories I would like. Oh my God, what a joke. The new PlayStation 3 accessories are just all vouchers, man.
Wow.
Vouchers.
They know you've been buying Vita games.
Maybe.
They do, bro. They do. So I finished that. I finished it and immediately deleted it straight off my Switch.
Oh.
So, I'm not
going to play it again.
I'm not going to play it again, am I? I mean, you know, why? I'm not going to go back to it.
No, I've never played Persona 4 again, Clarky. There's no point, really.
Yeah. What else did I do? I'm checking my little list out. And then to keep me off to get me off the JRPG, the hit I've picked up.
No.
The Steve Jackson's Fighting Fantasy triple pack off Switch.
No. Right, that's Pet.
He's asked now. Right, Pet, do you ever remember a series of books, and there were like hundreds of them, where it's like the Choose Your Own Adventure, where you'd sort of read a paragraph.
I don't really read that many books.
No, well, this wasn't really a storybook. So basically, you got a book, and you read a little introduction, and then it would say something like, you are walking along a road and there is a tree, and do you want to go to the left of the tree or the right of the tree? And it would say, if you want to go left, turn to page 221. And if you
like the Goosebumps books.
Possibly, I've never read those. So it's a choose your own adventure. So you kind of you go there, and then it would get you to it. So you turn to page 221. It would go, your path leads you into a swamp where you're attacked by whatever, and you have to roll some dice.
Yeah, that's like the Goosebumps ones.
Yeah. So like that. So these are essentially top-down isometric versions of that. And it whiled away a few bits. I completed the first one. There's 3 of them. Death Trap Dungeon is the first one. And I completed.
What do you mean? Is it an interactive novel on the Switch?
No, so it's basically what happens is you get like a top-down view of the dungeon, and it gives you so you walk along, and you've got certain not checkpoints, but like nodes along your path, and you get to that, and it'll say something will happen here. It'll be like a question mark, and it'll be right. You're either going to have a trap, you're going to have an enemy, or you're going to find an item, right? And so you come up to that, and then your random chance you'll get one of those 3 things. You've chosen your characters. Basically, it doesn't really matter which type of character you choose, but you'll have some skill dice and some luck dice, and you can kind of upgrade those as you gain experience, and then you can basically try and find your way through this dungeon by making choices about, do I go left, do I go right, and then rolling dice to get through skill checks. Basically, it's not rocket science. It's not. Don't go into this thinking this is the next, Final Fantasy. It's just not.
No one's going into this thinking it's the next Final Fantasy.
No, but it is. It was mind-numbing enough for me to while away, I think, 2.5 hours finishing it. So,
was it one of those games which was like in a sale you bought for like a what did you buy?
£6 or something like that. I can't remember. It was like £6 or something. Yeah. But it looks pretty. It does what it says on the tin. Once you've worked the map out and where you've got to go, it's pretty simple. You're just rolling on dice. Then by the time you've got to that point, your dice are so upgraded you should walk it. So, yeah, it was. I'll do the next one when I feel the need to do it. I quite like those games. As a kind of, I use them as a kind of palette refresher. So it's a bit like, I was talking about those hidden object games and stuff.
Yeah.
So normally when I finish a long game, like something like Final Fantasy, or I finish
Assassin's
Creed Odyssey, I don't want to go. So I'll use these as kind of like just a couple of nights of mind-numbing normality, just to do one of those, and then that sets me up for right now. What do I want to get into?
Yeah.
I don't know what my next game is going to be. I really want to get into Sea of Thieves because it looks like they've done some awesome work with that.
I would love to get
you haven't got an Xbox, Pat?
No. Well, if you lot pull through with the promise that you lot broke me.
We said a PS5. You're saying you're reneging on that now, are you? You're reneging on that. He doesn't want it, Clark. Clark, he doesn't want it.
Well, send me the PS5.
We were just about to cough up.
No, you've turned it down.
You've reneged on it now.
It's all over. Let's never speak of it again.
I would love to play that with you again one day. And one day we will.
That's like...
Wednesday, Tuesday.
Yeah. I reckon I could probably fit it in on Tuesday.
Oh,
I sent you a link. I know you probably didn't watch it, but there's like an 18-minute video.
I did watch it actually, Vimes.
About they put it out about a month ago saying what's changed in Sea of Thieves. It's like an Xbox video. Oh my God, the game has changed since we played it last massively. I was talking last time about like the intro section where they've got a whole new intro section, but it looks like they've done loads to this game to make it like it's just constant. How do they make money in this game, man? I mean, I know there's little microtransactions, but how can that fund the kind of changes they got going on?
I guess they get
new areas and all sorts.
I guess Rare get paid monthly, though, don't they, from Microsoft for it being on the store, right?
I mean, Rise and Microsoft Studio, right? So it's like...
It might just be something they use as a bit of a loss leader.
But my God, that game...
You got to keep in mind that money-wise, although they clearly don't know how to wisely spend it, Microsoft have got billions more money than Sony have.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like, I really want to get back, because that looks like the perfect game just as a kind of chill, sit down.
Yeah, come on, Vimesy, Tuesday night, let's do it.
All right. If you're set up by then.
I will be.
Does it crossplay on? It crossplays PC to Xbox, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does. Yeah.
So that's fine. So I've got mine on the PC at the moment. So I'll go and finish this tutorial quest that my daughter started off the other day.
Right, I'll be ready and waiting once you finally load in.
I think my PC will probably wipe the floor with you, but there we go.
Don't be
that'd be a good test, though, wouldn't it? Just on that point, Clark, you might want to. Have you still got an Xbox lying around somewhere?
No.
Okay. Well, you might have to, but you'll boot in. You have to go through the tutorial.
Because it'll save. It'll have my.
It might do. It didn't on mine. It didn't on mine.
Great. How long is the tutorial? Can I just run through and ignore most of it?
Possibly can be fairly short. I don't know. We haven't finished it because we went investigating the island. So I don't know. I might have a look at it tonight and see. But goddamn, that game looks beautiful. That game's really, really fucking beautiful. But other than that, I don't know. I know Assassin's Creed Valhalla's come out, and I'm just a bit like.
I'm more excited about God and Monsters to be honest.
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about getting the Switch version of that. And then Fuse is out on Monday or Tuesday as well.
You're going to get that, might you?
Not for 60 quid, I can't.
Not for 60 quid, man. I'm surprised by that.
I can't
just spend 50 quid on a Vita game.
I did. I deleted it because I was a bit ashamed of myself. I deleted it before you guys saw it.
I saw it, Pat, because I was just writing the reply and it said you can't reply to this. I was like, why can't I reply to this? Oh, because the tweet's been deleted.
This can't come out to the public, but then you guys
What game was it?
Zombie Pant Ripper 5.
At least fucking show me if you spent 50 quid on it. Show it off.
No, mate. He's trusting them to post it.
I'm still waiting for
What is it?
I can't.
What is it?
I don't know quite how you pronounce it, but do you know the game series? I think I pronounce it Eves.
You bought it. I knew it. You bought the bloody game that I said I'd send you on Switch.
Yeah.
Lacrimosa of Dana or something.
Yeah, Eves 8.
Fucking knew it.
What YS8? So it's like £35 on the PlayStation Store, but I just thought I really wanted this version.
Mate.
But basically, what happened was they went on sale, and I bought Eves Origins.
Oh, that's the sale, is it?
No, on the Vita, it went on sale.
Excuse me, I have to just twist myself around. I get a better view of my choice. There's my trampoline there in the background.
I bought it for £6 digitally, and I really, really liked it. So I was going to talk a little bit about what I've been playing, and yeah. So, but anyway,
start the
clock. You said it was going to be 5 Vita games in 5 minutes, so your time starts
now.
So basically, the past month, well, actually from the summer, I've gotten a lot back into my Vita. I've always liked it, but I kind of thought like every game that I really wanted, I already had. So
was your missus away for long periods over summer, by any chance?
Yeah, she was, and it was like lockdown and stuff.
There you go.
So I started buying some more Vita games, and there's only I kind of thought you know what, I regret sort of buying digital games on the Vita because I do like having the collection. So I stopped buying digital, and I started buying some secondhand Vita games. And yeah, so I played Eves Origins. Have you guys ever played an Eves game?
Yes, the one I'm playing at the moment, I've got about 10 hours into, and said I'd send you up, which would have cost you nothing.
Yeah. So I'd never played one before. I didn't appreciate at all the history of it as well. I didn't realize it went back to the Mega Drive days, Sega days. Mm-hmm. So it started in the 80s, and there was iterations in the 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, and it just kept on going. So I never really paid attention to it. And then one day there was a sale on the PSV store, and this was about a month ago, 2 months ago. And Eves Origins was there for £6. So I thought, all right, I'll give it a go. And I bought it, and I'd seen a little bit of screenshots before, and I thought, this looks like something I would like, because it wasn't like the 3D. Imagine nothing like Eves 8, Vimesy. Not 3D, not an open world. Not for anyone who hasn't played Eves 8, it's kind of like, what was that game Clarky? What's that game you like on Switch? The Chronicles. What's it called?
What's the game that Clarky likes on Switch?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles. So imagine kind of that kind of vibe is how would I describe it?
Sort of like a top-down third-person action adventure.
Yeah. This was kind of top-down, kind of you know how I prefer the top-down Zelda games to the 3D ones.
He does definitely like his top-down.
Yeah. So I thought this is something I could get into. And I played it, and I really liked it. I mean, on the surface, it's just it's a remake of a game that came out, or remaster of a game that came out in 2000 on the PC.
Are we still talking about 8?
No, it's about Origins now.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I haven't got 8 yet. But it's like a remaster of a game that came out in 2006. and I really liked it. So I got about, it's not a long game. I've heard it's about like 12 to 15 hours long.
Well, Origins?
Sorry?
Origins is 12 hours
Origins.
long.
Yeah, it's a short game. Yeah, so I'm about already like 9 hours in, and I really liked it. So I thought, you know what, I want to buy the new one then. The new one. Eve's 8 came out on the Vita in 2017.
The new
one. It came out on Switch this year on Switch or last?
I think it was this year.
Oh, so it came out 20 on Switch, 17 on Vita.
Don't quote me, but I think so.
But here's the thing. Here's the funny story. Yeah, it was in my basket to buy on the website Sex, and they had it CEX, and they had it for £35. Yeah, £35 they had it for, and this was before I played. This before I played Eve's Origins.
Wait for it.
So I played Eve's Origins, really liked it. I went back in to buy Eve's 8, and it was no longer in stock. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for it when it comes in stock and I'll buy it. Comes back in stock, and it must be, I don't know if this is because, you can click and say, send me an email when you've restocked this item.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've read that and gone like, oh, someone actually wants to buy this crap. Let's bump up the price. Because it came back in stock. That's
exactly what they'll do.
From £35, it boosted to 50.
And you still bought it?
Well, no, I was like, I'm not buying it for 50. Forget that. And I kept on playing Origins, and I was like, this is so good. So then I bought it for 50.
Why didn't you just have my copy?
Because I like playing it on the Vita.
Oh, why?
I just love this little thing. Like, I just think it's such a good console. And I just love playing on the Vita. And I'm a weird person. If there's two libraries I want to buy games on, these are the weird libraries, yeah? It's the bloody Vita and it's the Wii U. I don't know why. I love playing games on the Wii U as well. I just think it's a fantastic little console. I like having the physical games because when the store goes down, a good example is the Vita now. The mobile store is gone. Like soon enough, the main store on the Vita itself will go as well, and then you're stuck with what you've bought. Yep. So, like, I don't know why, but I like buying games on the Wii U, and I like playing games on the Wii U, and I like playing games on the Vita. I really do, and if it's physical, even better. So yeah, I've gone a bit nuts. I wanted to talk about a few games, and some I've bought.
Were they 50 quid each?
No, these are all really like cheap, basically.
For those on the audio version, Pet's holding up 5 different Vita games, so 250 quid's worth of software.
You've 45 seconds left, Pet. So if you want to quickly go through these,
give me a bit more time. But guys, has anyone ever played a Steins Gate game?
Yes, I have it on my Switch. I also have it on the PS4.
Have you played it yet?
You could have had the PS4 version.
This was the tenner. So,
fair enough then. You've done well there. You've done well.
These are all really cheap. I just got bumped on that one Eve's game. So you can find good Vita games for about 10 to 15 quid now. Mm-hmm. Have you given this a go yet, Ryan?
No, I haven't actually booted it up.
Yeah, it's really...
Because it's massively long. It's basically like watching an anime series with a little bit of gameplay in between. And I was really, really into it. And then I played one, not the Steins Gate, but I played a couple that were like that sort of visual novel style. Yeah, visual novel sort of style. And then it came to playing that, I found it for a sale or whatever, bought it, and then when I can't face doing 100 hours of this at the moment, so it's on my back burner.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's 100 hours long, but it's like, I'll tell you what, it's a really slow game to get into. It's a really.
You don't think it's going to be 100 hours long?
It is 100 hours long.
It's 100 hours long, Pat.
I mean, I'm not going to
almost as long as The Witcher 3 took me.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. But if anyone does sort of like that stuff, it is a good game. There's a really good story there, but there is not a lot. There's not. It's an interactive novel. Let's just leave it like that. But
I am looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to playing it. Maybe that's what I'll play now while I wait for my PlayStation 5 to turn up.
Yeah. So and it, it's it's not voice acted in English, unfortunately. So you do need to. If some people were like that, but yeah. So, but the text is in English, obviously, so you can read the text at least and hear the good the voice acting.
I would love to play Steins Gate just so that everything turned to the original, like with no subtitles. Japanese, just be like, what the fuck is going on?
Try and figure it out.
And then it should warn you when you're about to enter the final scene, so you can turn it on then and go, "What? That's what's been happening."
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've been reading the English text and I still don't know what's going on. I mean, the story revolves around building a time machine and going back and forth between time and changing events and stuff. But it's
basically Back to the Future. in Japan.
Kind of, but it's bonkers. The main guy and the girl they're really good characters.
Yeah. Maybe we should start that together. We should go 3, 2, 1, play, and then just
that would be really
that'd be quite cool. Yeah. Let's do that.
I mean, the most sort of actual interaction you do in the game is you got your mobile phone, so you can actually go into it and like send emails and reply back to texts and call people. So that's like as
Clarky, I can send you the PS4 version up if you want. And we can triple header it. Bit of a 3-way.
No.
And then, guys,
I played it once and I didn't like it.
And then I'm not too sure if this was a launch title, but Wipeout 2048 on the PlayStation Vita.
Be still my beating heart.
Guys,
I played that this week. Not that, but I played it on the PSVR. Oh my god, that game is so good.
I had a domestic that day, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but see me will. But my god, this game is. Well, there's a few things I want to mention about Wipeout. If anyone's ever played any Wipeout game, it's exactly the same.
Everyone's surely by now,
If you want, there is DLC that you can download the Wipeout 1 and 2, the HD.
That was my first experience on PlayStation 1 was Wipeout.
Yeah, a lot of it, and back then it used to look good.
Oh my god, the soundtrack was thumping.
Soundtrack's thumping. It looks so good that they know it looks so good, so they've actually put a photo mode in it as well. So they're so
in the Vita version?
On the Vita version.
Wow, that's cool.
It stands up, man. You can take some really nice stuff. But for anyone who hasn't played it, racing game,
for anyone who hasn't played it, get it on the PC, get it on the PlayStation VR because it's fucking insane. It's
was. You might have downloaded it for free as well because it wasn't PS Plus, so that's where I got it for free. But Wipeout's a brilliant game, and having it on the handheld, it's really cool. It's basically Formula One of the future, but there's little Mario elements in there.
It's not Formula One of the future. It's far more exciting.
Well,
and I like Formula One, so
that's how they sort of make it out to be because it's like pushing the technology of like the fastest.
It's amazing.
Vehicles.
I love that game. I love
really
it. I don't
cool
play it often. We need to get on that because it's so good.
Yeah. But just for anyone who hasn't played it, they're basically hovercrafts. So the actual racing routes are like go up buildings, go up and down, and you race all these.
It's like Mario Kart at like 3,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's really fast
with weaponry. It's like
you can get weapon, you get cannons, missiles, and defensive stuff as well, like shields and really mines and all that stuff. But it's really cool. I would love to see it in VR, and I've got to play with you. I don't know how. I'm not going to vomit playing that.
You won't, seriously, mate. You know me. I vomit playing Half-Life, and this is just wow. I spent a good hour in it the other night playing it. No worries, not at all.
Like I've nearly finished. I swear to God. Randomly. So what I do is I basically, at the moment, I go into my local secondhand video game store, and there's a tiny section of Vita games. I mean, maybe like this big.
And they're all pets.
And I basically look through and I go,
every game then.
Yeah. Sorry?
Every game.
A tiny little display, so every game on Vita then.
Well, I want to talk about that in a second as well. But I basically go, don't care about it at all. Don't care about it at all. Oh, haven't got this and kind of care about it. And then I'll get that. But I picked up something which I've always sort of been interested in, but never, it was always expensive. So
was it women?
Virtual Tennis 4.
Oh, fuck me.
Have you guys ever played a virtual tennis game?
Yes. Everyone's played virtual tennis. Surely, again, I mean, if you've ever had a PlayStation, surely you've played virtual tennis and Wipeout at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly. One really cool thing that the Vita does on this,
Oh no, not the back touch crowd, surely.
No, listen. Oh. You know the Vita's got a camera on the front of it, yeah?
Yes.
You can take a picture of your face, and in tour mode, in career mode, you can. It's basically your face comes out literally like a one
wrapped
picture.
Around.
Like it's not 3D, and you just stick it on the guy.
Please tweet a photo of that.
You just stick it on his face, and it's you. But sometimes but I couldn't get my color scheme to match, so my face was a little bit weird here. But you can stick it on your face.
The only Vita game that made good use of the camera was Tearaway.
Oh,
that was cute. That was.
That was.
You know, like the big god in the sky.
Yeah. Like the Teletubbies baby.
Teletubbies son, yeah.
Don't forget Uncharted made use of it as well.
Yeah. But all those games I sort of had. These are games I never really had. And then
Clarky, it's the middle of the day. You cannot be yawning.
Yeah, I got up about 5:30 this morning.
It's your own fault.
I'm going to talk about one more, which I recently got.
No, you bought 5. I want to hear about all of them. What's that?
It don't matter. I mean,
no, I want to know. I want to know.
Oh, no, show me it.
So this one is called Trials of...
I knew he'd buy a Trials game. I knew he'd buy a Trials game.
Well,
That's another 100 hours.
Are those any good?
Well, here's the thing. I've never played any of the series before. I knew...
I think Pet's going to love this. I really do. I think Pet's going to fucking love this.
I only started this yesterday.
And we're going to lose him. We're going to lose him now for the next 500 hours because he'll go from that into the next one.
So far, Clarky, it is fantastic.
Told you.
Which one is it? Is it on Switch?
Oh my God. I don't know if one's on Switch.
I don't know, but there's a few of them.
Yeah, 4 or 3 should be on Switch. This is the original. This is 1.
No.
So this is where the story starts. I'm not too sure if this one's out there. 1 and 2 is on Vita.
The story, Clarky.
3 and 4 is on PlayStation 4
Kingdom Hearts, mate.
Well, Kingdom Hearts / Persona, especially the first one. So I know they changed. They say that. So this is what else happened, yeah.
Audio listeners, you're missing out on Clarky's facial features right now.
So guys, I'm not. This is just a literal preview. I played about an hour, maybe. Yeah, probably about an hour of this. I started it just late last night. Oops.
Now he's never going to finish it because he's just lobbed it across the room.
It's got Borderlands doing it at the moment.
So that's all right.
Oh my God.
Guys, they patched Borderlands, by the way, and the frame rate is much, much better than what I remember. But anyway, so guys, The Legend of Heroes, Trials of Cold Steel, there's like, if you actually go into like JRPG, like the best list of, somewhere in there will be a game called Trails of the Sky. Legend of Heroes, Trails of the Sky. And it was a very, very, very highly rated JRPG. And it's a bit of a weird one because it's like some of these JRPGs, Final Fantasy doesn't do this, which is, in my opinion, really good. Because in Persona, every time you play a new Persona game, every time you play a new Final Fantasy game, you don't need to know any of the backstory. Okay, which is great. For Switch users now who have never played the trial game, going into Trials of Cold Steel 3 or 4...
I know what you're going to say now.
You're buggered. This one's okay because you're starting... This is like a spin-off. So there's different Trials of games, and this is the first one in the Trials of Cold Steel. But really, it helps if you even play the other spin-offs as well. But anyway, let's not get into that. Cold Steel's at the moment... This is literally the first hour. But it started, with like just randomly a gang of kids and the city's under attack and you're running around. It doesn't tell you any buttons, any tactics, you don't have a clue what you're doing, who you are, who you're talking to, and you're running around. I'm like, what is there? Did I miss? Should I have played the previous spin-off series to know what's going on here? And blah, blah, blah. So then I was fighting classic turn-based, like not time-based, like just classic turn-based. I go, then you go, then I go, then you go, and so on. Four people in a party, but you can switch them. Anyway, I played all that stuff, and then like the last scene of me just randomly straight away, the first scene straight into fights, running in this dungeon. Like the final scene is like tanks are basically coming, and I'm trying to stop these tanks blowing up this city, and then the tanks are about to shoot, and then the main guy's like, no, and then it goes 8 months previously. And it's like, la, 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 la. And it actually introduces you to who you are and what you're doing. So I was like, that was pretty unique. Because literally, the first half an hour was like, who am I? How do I know everyone? Where am I? And what am I doing? Anyway, then the game properly starts, like 8 months earlier. And it's basically, you're on a train and you're going to the city. And it's your first day of the new academy. And very Persona-like. It's like a new kid going to a new city. And he's like, oh, I'm going to be here for the next 2 years. And it's like the date starts. Okay, 31st of March, like day 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, today is, what's it called? We call it
Monday,
what do we call it?
Tuesday,
when you sign up from the first day
Wednesday,
of uni?
Registration?
Yeah, it's like, we call it registration. They call it like initiation ceremony or something like that, yeah. Induction, that's what we call it, uni inductions. But anyway, they got the equivalent of uni inductions. And I'm like walking around this city where I'm going to be living now. Like there's different dorms here, there's different shops, and I'm bumping into like the people that were with me 8 months later. And I'm like, oh, hi, I'm, his name's like Reese. Is it Reese? Something like that, begins with an R. Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So now you're meeting everyone and it's starting to make a little bit more sense now. So all the students there, like you look on the train and you're the only one wearing a red uniform and everyone else is like wearing green. So they're like, what's going on? Like this, they post you the uniform. So he's like, that's what they posted me. So he goes in and then he spots another girl with a red uniform. And he's like, oh, have you noticed that, like, basically me and you are the only ones wearing these red uniforms? And she's like, oh yeah, like I never noticed that. And then they walk and they find like someone else, like someone was praying in the chapel. He's got a red uniform. And anyway, they work out there's only like 9 of them with red uniforms. They go to the ceremony. Everyone's in green. There is actually some people with white uniforms, which look like elite kind of people. And they go to the uni and there's 9 of them in red uniforms. And after the ceremony's done, they're like, oh, the red people, can you come with me to this special dorm room? And like now they're starting to tell me about kind of what my brief is. And that's kind of where I am at the moment. So what's happening? But basically what's happening is I've already been introduced to the main feature of the game, which is the main features is you've kind of got like this social life that you go around this city, forming better bonds with these colleagues of yours so that you can fight better in this battle that's going to come up. You know, you can fish in the town, you can shop in the town, you can make relations.
I always get worried about these ones when they do this, like with Persona, where they do their calendar thing.
Yeah.
I just like when they give you that thing, you've got one day, how are you going to choose to use it? Are you going to get this with?
Terrified and missing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I love it.
I really don't like that sort of like, okay, you've got 8 months before this event's going to happen. What are you going to spend how are you going to spend your time? It's like Persona. What was the other one that just came out? Three Kingdoms. Clarky, come on, Switch game. Three Kingdoms. What do you call it? Is it?
What?
Well, you basically got like you have to kind of spend your Battle of the something or other. I can't remember.
Kingdom Hearts.
No, it wasn't Kingdom Hearts, but that sort of thing where you kind of have to decide how you're going to spend your time that day. Do you eat the yogurt out the fridge, or do you go and pick flowers with somebody or something? I don't fucking know.
Where's my t-shirt I was wearing before I came on?
No, you don't need to put no.
Oh, don't please.
So I don't know. I like the idea of trials, but I don't know if I can do a calendar game. I'm really not convinced.
See, when this started, and like I said, I've only played an hour, but already it threw you straight into the battle system, and it threw you straight away into the story and what you'll be doing in this town. I thought like, oh my god, this is the game for me. But I've heard that it ends on like literally a cliffhanger, which you need to play the second one to finish the story. So straight away when I played it for an hour, this morning I got up and I was like, how much is number 2? So
you know how it ends, the first one, right?
Don't.
It ends at exactly the same point. Look at him covering it. He's off. If that's all I have to do to get rid of him these days.
Go on.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
But exactly the same point as the tank firing the shell.
Please don't.
I don't know, mate. I've not played it.
Pet. By you on hour 1.
Pet, I've not played it, but I could just imagine. You know the bit you said you got to the bit and the cannon fires the shot. I'm just going to piss myself if you get to the end of the game and the last scene is that cannon doing exactly the same thing. And you're like, go to game 2. And you're like, no. What?
Yeah. I mean, to quickly talk about the battle system, just very briefly. I don't want to bore Clark anymore, but classic turn-based. You got attack.
Fucking hell.
Because I know he's going to be.
It's just his face, Pet. That's how it is.
Okay, fine. But you got your normal attack, you got your runs, you got your crafting, which is another special move. You got your items, and you got your arts, your magic, basically. And yeah, you can swap characters out whenever you want, which I found pretty cool. Like I said, there's 9 people. They all got this really cool special. And this is done, this is quite a new game for Vita. 2017 it came out. It's only 3 years ago. So for Vita, that's pretty new. And it's really it's proper quality. Like when I talk about Steins Gate and stuff like that, and even Eve's Origins that I played, and I haven't played Eve's 8 yet, but I don't expect it to be to the quality of this game.
I want to see which ones are available on Switch, so you carry on.
Oh, he's just muting himself so he can go find out.
He muted himself before he even finished his sentence. He was so excited.
He's that keen to go and find out. Look,
I'm pretty sure it's 3 and 4, but yeah, voice acted fully, beautiful music, it looks fantastic, proper quality game, like something I would expect, the new Persona on the Vita to have been something along the lines of that. So I'm really happy with that, and I certainly will be buying the second.
What was the last one you bought?
What do you mean the last one?
So you bought Steins Gate, you bought Trails of Gold Steel, you bought Virtua Tennis, you bought the really, really expensive one, Ease, and what was the 5th one?
Well, I was just going to talk about 5. I bought a lot, but I bought. Have you heard of a game called Unit 13?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like did you guys ever play on the PlayStation 2 a game called
I think I played it on Vita. I think I played Unit 13 on Vita. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play a famous game called Sokum?
Yeah, Sokum. Yeah.
Made by the same guys, and
it wasn't as good as what was that game? I can't remember what they called it. A really big, massively multiplayer shooty game. It was just
Medal of Honor?
No, it was like 200 people or something like that on a server or something like ridiculous like that. Massive Action Game. That was it.
Oh, Mag.
That was brilliant.
Mag.
I love that game. Oh God, they made some weird decisions at that point. But yeah, cool. Clark, have you found out yet? He's looking confused.
There aren't any.
Oh,
Trials 4 isn't out yet on Switch, but it's out on PlayStation.
Are you doing Trials or Trails?
Oh, sorry, I should stop saying Trials. Trails.
It's Trails for Cold Steel, mate. Yeah. So type in Trails, yeah.
Well, type in The Legend of Heroes. That'll be easier to find.
Just try Trails, because then you'll find
Trials is on special.
Oh, which one?
No, Trials HD. Or Trails, whatever it's called. The motorcycle game, Pet.
Oh, I thought you meant... No. Okay.
I went to I tell you what, I went to find... Lego City Undercover. It's 50 quid on Switch, Lego City Undercover.
Fucking hell.
Unbelievable.
Trials of Cold Steel 3, $53.99.
What's one? Or is that the only one they've got?
It'll tell you something. This game has a lot of fucking DLC for it. 89p, 139, 130. There's fucking pages of DLC for it.
So on the PS4, it's 32 quid right now. Trials of Cold Steel 3 it's 32. So get it on there if you want a bit cheap. I mean, that's nearly half the price than what Clark is saying. And 4 is...
It looks like it's just the one game.
4 isn't out yet, but 4 is coming because it was in that Nintendo Direct, wasn't it, Clarky?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So 4 will be coming, but this is the thing. It's like if you want the whole story now, you either need to jump on the PS4 or PS3 because the 1 and 2 is on the PS3 or the Vita. It's hard to get the whole story of some of these games.
There's a demo.
Download it. I'm sure you'll like it.
Clark, don't, mate. You're not going to be paying 50, and it will ruin it for you. You'll find out where that shell from that tank actually lands. It's taken 2.5 games later. The shell lands.
There we go. Down it goes. Down it goes.
There it is. And also, I just wanted to tell you about something, guys, which might surprise you. Okay. And because I knew...
Mate, we know. It's been obvious since you started listening to George Michael and the hair and the shorts.
I'd just like to wish you and Pritesh all the best in your new relationship.
Definitely not the case. Do you guys know what the best Wii U selling game is?
I'm going Mario Kart.
Clarky?
Pikmin 3.
It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Right.
It sold 29 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your point?
Do you know what that game was created for?
Fun.
It was created for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how can people sit there and tell me that the Wii U hasn't got any games and it's not a good console? When the best-selling game on the Switch has sold 30 million copies, 28.99 million, 29 mil. And on the Wii U, it sold 8 mil, that same game. 8 mil, that same game on the Wii U, and 29 mil on the Switch.
Sorry, what's your point, Pat?
My point is, and if you look at the top selling games on Switch,
it's because they actually marketed the Switch.
My point is, why didn't the Wii U fail? Because people are telling me the Wii U failed because...
Pat, you've got to get over it, mate. It's just you have a penchant for picking up on the consoles that just die early deaths. The Wii U, the Vita.
Wii U failed because Nintendo didn't tell people what it was. Everybody, even after its E3 reveal, thought it was some add-on for the Wii. Nobody knew it was a new console.
Yeah, I mean, was that because of the name? You mean, or?
Partly, but also just because they just didn't tell you. Like when they did the release of the Switch, that first 2-minute video advert told you exactly what the Switch was going to be. It was something a handheld you could dock to your TV, you could take out, it told you exactly what that did.
It did, but what my point is,
the Wii U never did that.
Myth. There seems to be like this myth around the Vita and the Wii U that it hasn't got games, so that's why it died.
No, I don't think it was ever about
The Vita
that.
and Switch has games that, if on any other console, it would have sold like hotcakes, like proven by Mario Kart. If you look down the Switch list of best-selling games, the Zeldas, all the Wii U games sold better than the Switch. It sold double what Mario
I don't think
did.
anyone ever said the Wii U didn't have. Well, they might have done at the time, I suppose.
Well, they said that about the Vita.
Yeah, because the Vita, unless you want a certain type of game, JRPG, it didn't have that many.
Oh, well, tell me.
And a lot of people at that point, if I remember rightly, and I may well not, so don't.
Well, tell me, because if you want action, it's got an amazing Uncharted game. If you want shooter, it's got an amazing.
It hasn't got that many. It hasn't got that many first-person shooters on it, and that's what people, because they marketed as this is basically the PS3 in your pocket, and it wasn't.
It was
because you didn't it wasn't.
It was.
You didn't have the same. You didn't have the same breadth of games as you did on the PlayStation 3. The first-person shooting market on that game was sorely limited. It was like that Mercenaries game, which was good, but
that
it was
awful COD game.
That horrible COD game.
People are still playing that today on the servers. People are still playing that today on the servers.
It's the only one that's got servers.
Okay, Killzone. You're not going to sit there and tell me that Killzone wasn't the best.
That's why I said Killzone Mercenaries, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right. That was it. Everything else was JRPG based.
I like the Resistance game.
They dropped everything as fast as they possibly could for Vita, so all the support just went because they didn't want to spend the money on back touch stuff and light sensors and blowing on microphones.
This console does stuff today, which I wish the Switch does. I feel like a dickhead plugging in a Bluetooth adapter to use my iPhones on the Switch. It's so annoying. This has Bluetooth.
I'm not going to say you're wrong, mate. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think there's a lot of things where we're way ahead, not just with the Vita, but loads of things where things are way ahead. But you just got to stop falling in love with things that.
Well, hold on. If it was way ahead, and we've established it is a good hardware, so is the Wii U.
Yep.
It has got good games, so does the Wii U.
Yep.
Why did it fail?
Probably your fault.
Because you can't tell me it failed because of the games, because there's good games on there that sold 30 million copies.
Because they said it was the PS3 in your pocket, which it wasn't. When it came out, and again, you're asking me without having research on it, they didn't have many games at launch for it. So I think the games took a while to come. And again,
so are you telling me the Wii U failed purely because
I'm talking about the Vita. I'm talking about the Vita. I can't, Wii U, I came to really, really late.
I put them in the same box, like the very good consoles with very good games, and they both failed.
But then it's all going to hinge on your marketing, isn't it? That's what it's going to come down to, is your marketing. If it's a great console and it's got great games on it, then they just didn't sell it to us. I mean, look, I had both of those, and sold them both. Didn't really get. I mean, a handheld for me is different because I don't.
Have you watched Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah, love it.
Do you notice how in the first season Daniel's son actually had a Vita?
Daniel's son? No.
I think in the first few episodes, when it was just like is this even going to be a popular show sort of thing on YouTube, he's got a PS Vita. And then in season 2, when it went like astronomical and global, he got a Switch.
Get rid of this shit. No, the reason I bring it up is because I went through the list of best sold games on Switch, and it's Mario Kart is number 1, Super Mario Bros. Ultimate, which, let's face it, is very, very, very similar, if not the same game with less characters, sold 20 million as well. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we all know was a Wii U game, which they delayed to bring it out on Switch on day 1 as well.
Yeah.
There's just so many. Splatoon, I mean, just new, even new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Edition, 8 million copies. Super Mario Maker, Super Mario 3D All Star. Okay, not that.
Well, how long's Deluxe been out? Mario Kart Deluxe been out?
I want to say it was a launch game. Am I right in saying that?
It's got to be 10 years, isn't it?
Lucky. Was it a Switch launch game?
Which one?
Mario Kart 8. How long's Mario Kart 8? 5 years?
Deluxe. The Switch.
What? For the Switch, it's 3 years.
No. Mario Kart 8.
Oh, from the Wii U.
From the Wii U. When was that? Because it's basically the same game. I'm not going with this.
It is the same game. And it looks the same.
In about 2013, I think.
So 7 years.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's the best-selling game on the console page is because they haven't released Mario Kart 9 yet. Because if you want a Mario Kart game, you've got one. That's it. That's the one you have to buy. It's a bit like if Call of Duty said, we're not going to make anymore, we're just going to keep this one going. It would probably outrank every other Call of Duty game, because if you want to play Call of Duty, that's the one you have to buy.
Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I never thought of that.
So maybe that's it.
Anyway, my point is, if you guys still have your retro consoles, now that the new ones are coming, and I call them retro now, keep playing them, because some of the games play brilliantly, especially the Wii U with that extra screen, when it crap, all the UI crap comes onto that, your maps and all the rest of it, and you've got a clear screen.
Really good.
Yeah, it's Mass Effect. Good. If you want to play Mass Effect, the best Mass Effect you can play is on
Mass Effect 3 on that.
Oh, speaking of which, it's N7 day today.
It is N7, and we've not heard anything
yet.
Oh, I don't know. Should I switch to Twitter quickly?
Yeah, Mass Effect is a really great game to play on the Switch.
It is. I had it on Switch and played through Wii U. I played through it on Wii U. It was good. Really good.
Anyway, that's it.
Well, I mean, it's not hitting the top of my trending, so I'm assuming they've not announced it yet.
It's still morning in US, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, fair enough then. Oh, well. Okay. I think we best call it a day there. Clarky, did you have anything to bring this week again?
I started playing on Mortal Shell. This being the Dark Souls-y-like game that came out on the PS4, Xbox.
I thought that was the Surge, or possibly the other one that we started playing, Remnant. You can't say the Dark Souls-y-like game anymore, Clarky, because there's quite a lot of them. What was the USP on this one?
What was the what?
Unique selling point, USP. Get with the program.
Well, you start,
Clarky.
You start off this game, and you're just like almost like an empty vessel, if you will. I don't know if either of you have watched the new Westworld series, but you kind of look like a host in that. You're just like a white, formless golem. You've got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. You've no features or anything. Yeah. So you start this game off, and you don't know where you are. Everything. Game tells you to walk forward, and you come across this enemy, and it gives you a brief outline of the controls. So what you can do is, like any Souls type game, you've got your weak attack, your heavy attack. What you also have as well is the ability to stifle your laughter, boys. Harden. So when you see an enemy, if you see an enemy's coming in for attack, if you tap, if you tap L2, you can harden, which means you freeze and solidify completely.
Oh,
right, okay.
There you go. And when their attack contacts with you, you won't take any damage, but there's then a recharge to that ability of several seconds. So
couldn't they have just called that shield or something?
Yeah, well, there you go.
The harden lasts for several seconds.
No, it takes several seconds to recharge. So you get back.
You have to have a little nap.
So you get past this.
I need a few minutes.
So you get past this thing, and keep in mind this: you haven't chosen a class or anything. This is the whole point of the Mortal Shell thing. You get to the next area of the game, and you find this soldier slumped dead on the ground, and your formless golem goes up to him, kind of touches his head, and like becomes him, if you will. So it takes on all of his armor. Yeah. So exactly. So you're essentially wearing all of his armor and stuff, and that's kind of the thing. As you'll come across classes as you play the game, and if you want, you can absorb them and become them.
Like Highlander.
There can only be one.
Yeah, there can be only one. But no, the harden function is really good because you can do it mid swing as well.
Oh yeah, you can.
So if I'm part way through a sword swing, I can harden, wait until the guy attacks me, and then I can just release the button and he'll finish up his sword swing, if you will.
Finish up.
Why do my reviews always turn into a mockery? Game on you. I'm liking this. I might. I borrowed it off someone on the PS4, so if I really get into it, I'll buy it on Xbox One on Tuesday.
Oh dear God. Oh, I shall look forward to that one. I am tempted to pick up Demon's Souls now because I've seen more gameplay of it and it looks really nice.
Oh my!
I had an argument with Johnny over this because he's a really big Souls fan, and I was kind of like, oh yes, PS5, you're buying, Demon's Souls. They've got this game day on. It's like, yeah, but it's just a remake of a PS3 game.
An early PS3.
And it's like no. My
you've got a PS3 game, you can't really get anymore.
But it's not the same as getting Blood Souls.
It was on PS Plus, Vimesy, so everyone's got it on PS3. But the point was, right?
Was it?
It's like, you can't say this is a new game in any way. It's got good graphics, but all of the. No,
they've sharpened it, haven't they? They've made it a little bit more, because like Demon's Souls used to be a real pain in the ass for some of the it was really clunky menu functions. I'm sure they've gone in and they've changed various bits.
Yeah, but it's still got stuff baked into its gameplay that was ditched off for other Souls games. So
standard. I mean, I don't know.
It's not the same as the new Bloodborne game, man.
No, it won't. But you can't even play that.
You're essentially paying for an old From Software game.
You just spent 50 quid on a Vita game. I could have given him for now.
Leave him alone.
How dare you? I'll see. I'll see what the
says me looking at the 53 quid trials game.
Do it. I might pick up that demo as well. But cool. Oh, well, I'm interested to see how that goes, Clarky, because I could do with something like that.
No, it's good. I'll probably forget all about it come Tuesday and I plug the Xbox in.
Yeah, probably.
Vimesy, are you getting the disc version of PS5?
I am.
So if you want to buy games before that, and if you do like cave in and you want to buy Darks, are you gonna buy? Are you gonna buy this games? Or are you gonna? Are you still?
I know what's happening here.
No, I'm just like wondering. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like,
you are.
Buy... Well, that would be nice to know as well. But I'm not actually asking that. I'm just asking, like digitally, are you gonna? Don't you have to decide now if you're? If it's coming out on day one, you want to have your games ready.
What are you talking about? What do you want to know?
Can I have your games after you played them? Okay.
Oh, there you go.
No, I wasn't asking that. I was just saying, like, you got to decide now if you're going to play that on day one because you're getting. No.
What are you talking about? What have I got to decide about? What for when?
Dark Souls now. If you want it for then.
Why?
Any way you can get around plumping up full price for fucking games is all over it, isn't it? I'll give him 30 quid for it. He'll be happy with that.
That's it. I'll let you have it when you beat Gascoigne.
Oh, no.
Yeah, boy. We'll do
that's a good idea. Don't sell him a game until he presents you with proof of a particular Bloodborne boss being defeated.
I remember back in the day when Vimesy used to give me games, and now he's refused to selling me games.
Clarky has taught me well. Anyway.
It's not a fucking charity pet.
Anyway,
no, that's protection.
We best call it a day now because I really need to go for a wee, and it's been like ages. So, if you've got anything to contribute to this conversation, you can get hold of us at Clarky. What's the email address?
gamersconfessional@gmail.com.
It is. I'll look at it this week just to check. Promise. Or you can tweet us at Confessional Pod. I'm Vimesy74. Clarky's at Clarky Snap. Pets at Life of Pet. Until next week, when one of us at least will be in the next gen. The other two will
I thought you were getting a PS5.
What? I am.
Well, all right, yeah, it wasn't out for another week or so afterwards, is it?
Yeah. So yeah, until next week, I think we best call it a night. Thanks very much for watching or listening.
It's the daytime.
Oh, I can't help it.
Just call it a night. Look, the sun's in the fucking
every
sky.
single time I try and sign this damn thing up. Right, from now on, Pat, you're going to be doing the closing.
Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe.
Oh, that was easy.
Shit.